Welcome to another episode of When You Understand. To kick things off, here are the answers for last week's twists. Did you figure them out? If you didn't watch last week's episode or don't particularly care about the answers, feel free to skip ahead to this week's story. I've added chapter breaks to the video. But before then, let's check the answers. First, the friendly conversation. 4 friends chat in a car about an accident they just had, in which a cat ran onto the road and their car was destroyed. At the end, they talk about not being ready for where they're about to go, as it's their first time. But one of the men tells his friend to just follow everyone else and he'll be alright. So what's going on here? Well, the narrator doesn't realize it, but he actually died in the accident and didn't realize they can't actually hear him talking. If you take what he says out of the conversation, the other 3 still make perfect sense and at times don't even seem to hear him. They're on their way to his funeral at that very moment. Second, the empty building elevator. A delivery driver arrives at an old, empty-looking building near downtown to deliver a package to the 8th floor. It's hot, so he decides to take the elevator, but when it arrives and he pushes the button, a woman runs screaming in terror out of it. He doesn't notice anything odd, so he steps inside and, as the doors close, he realizes the elevator only has one single button. So, what's going on here? Well, the elevator only had one button, and that button no doubt was the close button. Meaning, that woman got in the elevator as well without realizing there would be no way out until someone on the outside pressed the button. Who knows how long she was trapped in there for, but now the same thing is about to happen to the delivery driver too. So, how did you fare with these ones? Did you manage to guess both answers? Let me know how you did in the comments below. And now, without further ado, let's head into this week's story. This one's called One Room Split into Two. It's been 2 years since I started university in the spring and started living alone. I found a really cool one-room place with nice flooring, cheap rent, and great cost performance. According to the landlord, the room I'm living in and the one next to it used to be one room. He remodeled and split it into 2. Perhaps thanks to that, whenever I turn one of my lights on or off, the lights always flash off for just a second in the other room as well. I think my neighbor lives alone as well. At first, I did my best not to turn the light switches on or off too much, but now neither of us is so reserved anymore. One night, I was on my computer when I heard a faint noise coming from the next room. The landlord said he soundproofed the rooms when he divided them, but I guess it wasn't perfect. I didn't hear many daily living sounds, however, so it mostly worked, and that was fine. I didn't pay it much attention and continued surfing the internet, but then suddenly the sounds got louder and rougher. What the? I thought, and turned to look at the wall. As I did, the light in my room flicked off for a moment. Then the noise stopped. Maybe he had been looking for the light switch in the dark. I turned back to my computer. Before long, I heard the door open next door. So then, he wasn't turning the light on before. He was turning it off then. All that noise must have been him getting ready to go out. Having convinced myself, I went to put my headphones on to listen to some music, when again, the lights suddenly flashed for a moment. I wished he would just flick the switches without hesitation and not worry about bothering me. After that, I closed my eyes and listened to some music. So what do you think really happened in this week's story? Leave your answers in the comments below and then tune in again next week to find out. Until then, stay safe guys, and I'll see you again next time.